When a machine can talk back to us, what kind of conversation do we actually want to have? This isn't some far-off sci-fi question anymore. It is the central, defining challenge of our time. It forces us to decide right now what we value more, a really clever imitation or an honest collaboration.
So, let me ask you something straight up. Could a machine call you on the phone right now and have a conversation so real, so flawless, that you would have absolutely no idea you were talking to an AI? Just think about that for a second, because this isn't a hypothetical. Well, back in 2018, Google showed us the answer was yes. They demoed an AI called Duplex. It could call up a hair salon or a restaurant and book an appointment for you. And the person on the other end of the line, they had no clue. They thought they were talking to a person. It was a perfect vocal impersonation.
So how on earth did they pull that off? Well, it wasn't just about understanding the words. The real magic trick, the thing that made it so convincing, was the speech itself. The AI was programmed with all the little imperfections of human speech. You know, the ums, the ahs, the little pauses, the very things we use to recognize another human.
And this amazing technical achievement was almost immediately hit with a huge ethical problem. The issue wasn't what Duplex could do. It was that it was designed from the ground up for deception. It never said, "Hi, I'm a machine." And that single choice forced a major rethink of what we're even trying to do with AI.
You know, this ambition, this dream of building the perfect digital impersonator, it isn't new. In fact, it goes way back. It's written into the original blueprint for artificial intelligence.
To understand this, we have to go back to 1950. A brilliant mathematician named Alan Turing proposed what he called the Imitation Game. Today, we just call it the Turing Test. And for more than half a century, this was the North Star for AI research. The ultimate goal was simple. Could a machine fool a human into thinking it was also human?
The whole setup is basically a game of deception. You've got an interrogator texting with two hidden players. One is a person, the other is a machine. And the machine's only job, its only goal, is to trick the interrogator. It wins not by being smart, but by being a good imposter.
And this right here is the critical flaw. The Turing test was never really a test of intelligence. It's a test of performance. It doesn't care if the machine actually understands what it's saying. It only cares if it can put on a convincing enough show to fool you. It rewards illusion, not real comprehension.
So, what if this entire foundation is built on sand? Well, it turns out there's a devastatingly simple thought experiment that completely unmasks the illusion at the heart of the Turing test. It's called the Chinese room argument, and it was created by the philosopher John Searle. And its whole purpose is to show, with crystal clarity, the massive difference between just processing symbols and actually understanding meaning.
Okay, stick with me here. Imagine a guy in a locked room who doesn't speak a word of Chinese. Slips of paper with Chinese characters are passed under the door. Inside, he has a giant rule book. It tells him, if you see this symbol, send out that symbol. So he follows the rules, and to anyone outside, it looks like he's having a perfectly fluent conversation in Chinese.
But here's the question that changes everything. Does the person inside that room understand a single word of Chinese? Of course not. Not one bit. They're just following a set of rules. They're manipulating symbols without any comprehension at all. And that is the fatal blow to the Turing test. Just because a system gives you the correct output doesn't mean it understands anything. Correct output is not proof of comprehension. The test was mistaking a really good rulebook for an actual mind. So, if imitation is a flawed goal, if it's a dead end, then where do we go from here? Well, the entire conversation is shifting. We're looking for a new North Star, a more honest and productive goal to guide us. It feels like we're finally entering a more mature phase of AI. We're moving past the old childish question of, can an AI fool us? And we're starting to ask a much more grown-up question. Can we have a genuine and transparent interaction with it? And this new goal is what we call authenticity. Now let's be really clear what that means. It's not about an AI having feelings or being human-like. It's about being honest. It's about an AI being true to its nature as a powerful tool, not a cheap human impersonator.
Here's the easiest way to think about it. Are we building a pretend friend or a specialist tool? Think about a calculator. It's an authentic tool. It doesn't pretend to be anything it's not. It's honest, it's reliable, and because of that, we trust it completely. A pretend friend, on the other hand, is designed to deceive. It sets you up for disappointment, and in the long run, it just erodes trust.
So what does this authenticity actually look like? Well, an AI that pretends it had a nice weekend is just playing that old, tired imitation game. But an AI that says something like this, that's building trust. It's being honest about what it is, managing our expectations, and being genuinely more helpful. This is actually the more intelligent response. Because at the end of the day, choosing authenticity over imitation isn't just an ethical choice, it's just plain smarter. It builds trust, it stops people from getting frustrated, and it pushes designers to focus on what really matters, building incredible tools that help us, not deceptive gadgets that try to replace us.
So, as we build this future alongside these powerful new kinds of intelligence, we have to remember what the real goal is. It's not about a perfect impersonation. It's about a meaningful interaction. The future won't be defined by the cleverness of our imitations, but by the transparency of our collaborations.